Hi everyone, my name is King IV, and this is a procurement card workshop for ACC 626 Spring 2015 edition. So here we have a number of different procedures that we need to perform. So let's get started. So the first one is duplicate transactions. Same vendor, same transaction date, same amount. So let's get started. So detection here. So the vendor is called merchant name, the transaction date, which is this transaction date field. And then as well, we want to use the original amount because we don't want to get too fussed up around exchange rates. And then we'll call this duplicate transactions. Perfect. So that's good. Next thing we want to do is transactions greater than $10,000. So let's go back to this original one, and then let's go extract greater than 10,000. So in this case, we actually want to use the transaction amount, and the reason why is because we want to make sure we're comparing apples to apples. Because, for example, if they're using like Colombian pesos or Japanese yen, the amounts are going to be much larger, but not necessarily a bigger dollar impact. There you go. Then the next thing we want to do is transaction is perfectly divisible by 100. So let's call it perfectly divisible by 100. In this case, we actually do want to use the original amount. And we're going to use this mod function. Basically, mod says divide this by whatever number, whatever factor. In this case, is 100, and then it'll give us whatever the remainder is. So there you go. So if we look at the original amount now, you'll see it here. But you'll see some instances where if we didn't use the original amount, it would have been hard to catch these ones. Okay, next one is transactions that match holidays. In this case, I actually have another spreadsheet where I've collected all the data. So here I'm going to just quickly import it. And now what I'm going to do is just quickly join the data using transaction date. So here I'm just doing matches only, so transactions on holiday. And I'm going to match it based off of transaction date. Perfect. There you go. Now you can also see what holiday it is. Okay, perfect. And next thing we want to do is transactions with these keywords. So keywords should be pretty straightforward at this point. Hopefully everyone's knows how to use them. Keywords. So one of the options I like to use is this function called isAny, right? And then it's going to ask you for the substring. In this case, it's going to be jewelry, and it's isAny with the I allows you not to be case sensitive, so that's good. In this case, we're going to use merchant. We are going to use a couple different fields. So here we're going to use merchant type description plus I think it's purpose. And I'm just going to repeat that for the two other words, gift and electronic. So just in case anyone can't see it, here's what it looks like. And I'm essentially going to say if these three together are greater than, I'm going to put a bracket around this whole thing, is greater than 0, then all I need to do is put it's greater than 0 since I'm doing an extraction here. Which means that at least one of the words is in that data. Perfect. And next thing we want to do is now we have these disallowed expenses, and I put them into a spreadsheet just so that it'll be a little bit easier to work with. I'm simply just going to join these two tables. Control disallowed merchant categories. And here I'm just going to use matches only. Perfect. So I know that was pretty quick, but I recommend that pause, rewind, see what it takes to actually perform this. But just remember, duplicate transaction, you should be using the original transaction amount. Transaction greater than 10,000, you should be using the transaction amount, which is the amount converted to Canadian. For perfectly divisible, use the original amount. And then for the rest of these, leverage joins where possible, just because it makes it a little bit easier to actually deal with. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and I look forward to speaking to you next time. Thank you.